We sincerely appreciate your presence and thank you all for joining us in this enriching session. Ladies and gentlemen, as we delve into the next segment of the FASTNEX 2024 conference, we will be exploring a crucial topic: ensuring quality standards in fastener manufacturing, compliance, enforcement, and industry implications. This session promises to shed light on the intricacies of maintaining high-quality standards in the fastener manufacturing sector, the role of compliance, the importance of enforcement, and the broader industry implications. Now, without further ado, let's welcome our distinguished speakers who will guide us through this insightful discussion. Dear members of the audience, please put your hands together to welcome on stage Mr. Narinder Bhamra, President, Fastener Manufacturers Association of India. Welcome, sir. Next, we have Mr. Amarjit Sinha, Assistant Vice President, Sterling Tools Ltd. Kindly join us on stage, please. Our next speaker is Mr. N. Srinivasa Murthy, Chairman, PGD 37. We welcome to you, Mr. Srinivasa Murthy. And to round up our panel of speakers, kindly join your hands together to welcome Mr. Parag Shah, Director, Precise Fasteners Private Limited. A very warm welcome to you all on behalf of the team of Messe Stuttgart India and FASTNEX 2024, gentlemen. Let me start by introducing our distinguished panel of speakers. Mr. Narinder S. Bhamra is the president of FMAI, a distinguished figure in the Indian fasteners industry. He is recognized for pioneering innovations and expanding production capacities at Morningstar Industries and New Star Industries. A leader with vast experience, Mr. Bhamra has held significant roles in industrial associations, internationally engaged with global leaders, and earned accolades for his contributions to industry growth. He has garnered global recognition, been featured in esteemed business magazines, and widespread media coverage on platforms such as CNBC Awards, IBN7, Sahara, NDTV, and leading publications. Welcome, Mr. Bhamra, to the panel. Mr. Amarjit Sinha, a postgraduate in industrial engineering, brings 34 years of automotive industry experience to his role as the head of manufacturing for all 4 plants at STL. He started his career with Aisha in 1991 and has been instrumental in STL's technological development. He has spearheaded the establishment of the Bangalore plant, which earned the prestigious ACMA Gold Trophy for digitization in 2021 and 2022, showcasing his focus on process robustness, environmental sustainability, and the introduction of cutting-edge technologies. Welcome. Mr. Srinivasa Murthy, a mechanical engineering graduate, held significant roles at HMT and Bosch, contributing to standards development in India. As a retired senior manager, he served as the chairman of PGD 37, General Engineering and Fastener Standard Sectional Committee, Bureau of Indian Standards from 2014 till date. Welcome, Mr. Srinivasa Murthy. Thank you for giving us your presence. Last but not the least, Mr. Parag Shah, the director of Precise Fasteners Private Limited, has propelled the family-led business to prominence in India's fastener industry. Under his leadership, Precise Fasteners has evolved into a key player, emphasizing excellence through domain expertise, advanced machinery, and a commitment to superior products. Mr. Shah's visionary approach, along with strategic initiatives for quality enhancement and modernization, positions Precise Fasteners for continued success in this dynamic market. Ladies and gentlemen, we bring to you a distinguished panel who comprise pioneers of the fastener and fixing industry. Let us begin this delightful panel discussion. The floor is all yours, gentlemen.
Hello. Good afternoon, everybody. First of all, I thank Messe Stuttgart and FASTNEX for providing us an opportunity to interact with the distinguished personalities like you. So, when we talk about the ensuring quality standards, the fasteners, nuts, and bolts, my dear friends, the basic cost of the nuts and bolts is too less, but their implication is very important. You can see a fastener costing few thousands of rupees and are being fitted into the vehicles, structures, railways, a lot of responsibility on the part of the manufacturer to ensure the quality standard being adopted, to ensure that there should be no hanky panky. There should be no failure on the part of the manufacturer. So, ensuring quality standards in fastener manufacturing is crucial to guarantee the safety, reliability, and performance of the product in various industries such as automotive, aeronautic, construction, manufacturing companies, and to an extent, the human bodies even. We can see if and when we got some fracture, it's being joined with the fasteners only. Compliance with the industry standards, effective enforcement of mechanism, and understanding the implication for the industry are essential components of maintaining high quality standards. So there are few compliances, there are some international standards which are being adopted, such as ISO 9001-2015, which stands for the Quality Management System. Likewise, ISO 898, which stands for the mechanical properties. Likewise, ISO 10683, which stands for the corrosion resistance coatings, like that. Apart from that, there are the many regional, national, and international standards, such as ASTM, which stands for American Society for Testing and Materials. Besides, there are certain material standards. You can see 1010, 1018, SE Forum 40, 5141. So it depends from product to product, from grade to grade. So it is very essential to select the proper raw material for the proper grade to ensure that there should be no failure at the customer end. Likewise, there are the sub testing and the certifications. Testing to obtain the rigorous testing performances and to obtain certification from the certifying agencies to gain the confidence of your buyer. And then come the traceability, which is the most important part of the product. Right from the very beginning, when we start the inward of the raw material till the final dispatch, we have to maintain the traceability, the process root charts, and the process flows so that we can identify the particular lot. If somehow at any stage we find any problem, any failure, so that we can recall that particular lot to ensure that there should be no complaint, no problem at the customer end. So these are the few inputs from my side on the compliance. I would like my friends to share their opinion on that. Mr. Amarjit ji, please.
Hello. Very good afternoon to everybody. My name is Amit. I I represent Sterling Tools Ltd. We are a automotive fastener manufacturing company having multiple plants, few in close to Delhi and one in Bangalore. It's a privilege, and I would like to thank FASTNEX for giving us this opportunity. Whatever I am saying is based on our experience in automotive. We are a 100% automotive companies. And what Mr. Bhamra just now said, that fastener is an extremely important and critical component. And I'm sure you will be surprised to know that still most of the car manufacturers, still they are not sourcing the fasteners important fasteners from India. They are still importing it. Okay, and so it only shows the amount of importance our OEMs they show on this component. Okay, so quality is extremely important from that perspective. As you know that recently government has come out with a QCO rule, okay, which is making compulsory for registrations with the BIS, okay. Uh, so though it is important, but in automotive industries, we are already, I don't want to say ahead, we have already covered with that, with customers like Maruti, Honda, or for that matter, Tata and Mahindra. Our requirements that we meet for our customers are much more than what the stated standards of 898 and all those things they ask for. See, if you have to talk of quality, see, the quality is in the design itself, which is coming from the customer's requirement. Customer specifies the what type of raw material to be used. Though 898 gives a lot of options, however, the customers restrict it, some limited options. Even they restrict to the suppliers of the raw material. Most of the customers, they say, we will approve only for one raw material make. That is the way they ensure that there is less of variability in the inputs. So having said about the raw material, the next important process is on the on the wear sizes. Okay, in fastener industry, there is a very standard practice of using PD wear for making fasteners because that makes things simple. Okay, whereas in our company, we all use the important dimensions are all extruded, which ensures proper quality. And this is again very customer centric, customer driven. Since we are in a automotive OE passenger vehicle segments, we cannot afford to take a chance, and that is the reason we have these processes. In the morning, there was a session on IoT. Okay, unfortunately, I missed it out, but we can share with you our Bangalore plant is, we got the ACMA Digitization Awards for 2 consecutive years. All our machines are all IoT enabled. We don't have any production logging systems. The machine automatically, after a fixed time, logs into the quantity that has been produced into our ERP seamlessly. Okay. Not only that, it ensures that the production rules are deployed. The production rules, like we have a fixed time checking frequency. Say, for example, the parameters have to be checked every 2 hours. Every 2 hours, a trigger will come to the operator on his screen that this parameter has to be checked. The inspection plan comes automatically there. The operator has to use an online gauge to measure it. The data gets automatically shifted to the computer, and if all the parameters are matching, it allows the machine to run. If due to some reason operator doesn't check it, which is a question of compliances, it gives a cushion time of 10 minutes, and after 10 minutes the machine stops of its own, so that operator has to follow it. So this is the way we are ensuring the compliance. See, in the fasteners, we are making at a very high rate, about 200 to 200 pieces a minute. Human being cannot control it. Human being can only be observant, can ensure systems so that the products are made in the right way and of right quality. So at every step in our processes, starting from forging to rolling, these are the 2 main processes which are as an input to the forging. We have deployed this type of processes where quality rules are deployed. We have processes where the machines have sensors, so that if due to some reason something goes wrong, machine stops automatically. So here the focus is automations and remove from human control, because human is likely to do an error. So, and our endeavor is to remove the human control completely from our manufacturing processes. Then we have 2 more manufacturing processes which are basically process centric, where the process compliances ensures the quality of the product. The product cannot be tested. The process will ensure the right products are delivered. So in those processes, we have controls, like we have every lot is verified by the section head ensuring that he has verified, because all these are SCADA control with automatic recording. So the complete process characteristics is known to everybody in the process in the system, and those are individually verified and certified to ensure that nothing has gone wrong during the production of these processes. So these are the tools which we are using to produce a good part. But let me tell you, that is still not good enough. There are still some parameters which goes undetected. And just imagine when a OEM is fixing the part in a robotic assembly line, if something goes wrong, his whole assembly line will get stuck. So as a last operations, we have 100%. When I say 100%, it is 100% fit parameters, or 100% fit parameters are verified, and then the product is given to the customer. So these are the steps we follow in for complying to our customers' requirement and to give zero defect products. Still, we are not giving zero defect. Still, something goes wrong because of multiple reasons. So multiple reasons. So these are the actions which we are taking and to ensure. And I'm sure if we have to supply to other customers in other segments, if we are able to maintain this level of compliances, there will be definite customer satisfactions. In the recent past, because of these QCO rules, a lot of requirements have come up in terms of certifications. Those certification process are not very cheap. Okay, they are pretty costly. And definitely it is good for our industry because it will put a barrier for low cost import. Already there is a rule that government has said that less than CIF value 129 rupees per kilo, if you are importing, you are not allowed. So these barriers, I am sure, will help in flourishing our industries in future. These are the initial words I wanted to share. Thank you.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I thank the organizers of FASTNEX and Messe Stuttgart for giving me an opportunity to be present in this seminar, and it gives me very happy to be present here. First of all, being a chairman of the Fasteners and General Engineering Standards Sectional Committee, I am happy to say that the Bureau of Indian Standards is adopting international standards wherever international standards are available on the fasteners. That is the first priority. Then only other standards like DIN or other national standards are adopted, or if nothing is available, our own industry standards are followed, or for the formulation of Indian standards. No doubt the ISO standards themselves are formulated based on taking the input from all the member countries, India being one of the leading countries in the world in the fasteners committees. And we are a participating member in the International Standards Organization committee meetings, so that we get the full information on the formulation, revision, and the activities of the ISO in the international scenario. In fact, on February 1st of this year, there is a meeting being held on fasteners, and India is participating in that committee meeting. So the basic thing is that the fasteners, because it has to, it is encompasses every type of industry, not only automobile industry. The fasteners are there for every industry. You name the industry, fasteners have got to be there, without which no assembly can be made. So the basic concept is that we should adopt ISO standard, so that import and export of fasteners is happening without any hindrance. At the same time, we don't want non-standard or cheaper materials or fasteners to come into our country or dumped into our country. So the QCOs are being formulated, and standards are formulated on items on a top priority, so that the imports from China and other countries are stopped as far as possible. To give an example, in the last 4 months' time, Bureau of Indian Standards Committee has met 3 times to formulate 12 important standards on infrastructure components like building industries requirement, so that the standards are formulated and our Indian industries are supported. So Bureau of Indian Standards is taking all steps towards maintaining the quality of the products and also for certification with the components. The, uh, the present Director General, I must say, is taking further steps in making the Indian standards revised to the national and international standards level at a faster rate. For example, there is a new thing, that is a project can be taken by any member of the committee or group of members other than the committee members, or any research and development institution who can work on some group of standards which are more than 20 years old and can be revised. For this activity, to the tune of 10 lakhs is the project amount allocated.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you, Mrs. Redgood and the organizers for organizing this wonderful conference for exchange of ideas and exchange of details in the fastener industry. As Mr. Bhamra rightly said, to choose the right raw material is the basic thing for manufacturing the fastener ahead, and the steps taken by the PGD section for the CQ and the BIS certifications and MIP will really help the industry in the long way. And as rightly said, India right now is the focus of the whole world. So even manufacturing of fasteners should go on the international level, which is the need of the time.
Thank you. So, friends, I would like to share the dream of our Honorable Prime Minister with you. I was lucky enough to the present in the meeting when the dream of our Honorable Prime Minister was shared in Ludhiana at Punjab Agriculture University on 18th of October 2016, where he launched JED, known as Zero Defect and Zero Effect. Zero defect means that your product should be defect free. Your manufacturing process, your machinery, everything, your training, everything should be robust to ensure that the product should be of a zero defect. So there should be no problem at the time of the fitment of the equipment. And zero effect. At the same time, our Prime Minister was worried about the pollution environment. See, we all are earning money, but we must make sure that what we're going to give to our generations in the coming days, we have to adopt pollution-free processes. Just to make a easy money, we cannot put the life of our generation in the danger. We cannot pollute the water or the air. I myself was the CEO of the Common Effluent Treatment Society, where we treat the polluted water of the industry. Chairman sir, there are 1,600 units, SMEs in Punjab, in Ludhiana, Amritsar, Mohali, Amritsar, Jalandhar, from where we collect the water, electroplating water, treated water, like that. And we treat over that at our plant, at a common effluent treatment plant. And then we convert it to ZLD, zero liquid discharge. That water we pass on to some dying plants where they use that water, and we plant the trees on the roadside. We had an agreement with the municipal corporation of the Ludhiana. So, thank you. So this is the dream of our Prime Minister and the prime duty of our manufacturers, the fastener manufacturers, to ensure that we should adopt JED as soon as possible. See, there are 3 categories in the JED: bronze, silver, and gold. So government has launched, given a lot of subsidies to get these certifications. And for bronze, this is very easy to achieve. And they have, give entrusted this duty upon some NGOs, some, agencies. They help you out to achieve that bronze category first. And then you have to upgrade from bronze to silver and from silver to gold. And for the entire process, there are subsidies for the micro and small entrepreneurs. And there are incentives that you can, if you want to, upgrade your machinery or your technique, they give you 35 lakhs. Like if you want to install captive plant for pollution control, they give you 25 lakhs. Like that, there are a lot of incentives that you can search it online. And in the coming days, it is going to be the compulsory to have the JET certification. Because as the GEM portal is there, they will ask for whether you are JET certified. If you are JET certified, then only you will be able to participate in that particular tender. So this certification also is a part and parcel. So we need to get ourselves aware about the JET certification also. So this was my submission on JET certification. If you would like to share anything on JET certification.
See, we are not following those certifications, but our plans are zero liquid discharge plans. We have our own treatment, and after treatment, even the last of the drop is evaporated out. So as Mr. Bhamra has said, quoting our PM, that zero defect and zero effect. This is one of the small footsteps we do to have the zero effect. Still, it is not zero. Second aspect is because fastener industry is a power guzzler. We are doing heat treatment, so it consumes a lot of power. So it is our responsibility to reduce the carbon footprint. And every year in our company, we have a target of 2 to 3% reduction in our carbon footprint on year-to-year basis. Okay. Notwithstanding the solar, see, whatever solar we are putting, that also is helping, but that we are not definitely counting in a 2 and 3 because that is a capex driven, management driven initiatives. Our people driven initiatives is to reduce the wastages, reduce the leakages, and reduce our power consumption. So these are our efforts which we take to reduce our environmental impact. Thank you.
In this direction, I have nothing to say, but except that the industry should approach the Bureau of Indian Standards for more and more standards and more of interaction so that standards formulation gets a boost and quality standards can be formulated and implemented. That's what I can say. Thank you.
Sir, as far BAS is concerned, I afraid to say that it is bit, bolt in a blue for the SMEs. Because when we started this process, we thought it is a very easy process and when we can easily stop imports from China. To an extent, we have succeeded in that also. But when it came to the, apply that to get that license, it is very cumbersome, my dear friends. We are discussing with Vijay also. BS is just wanted to make the money out of this. I'm afraid to say, but see, for each and every part number, if we go by the guideline of the BS right now as it is, you have to take 37 licenses. And how a MSc can afford to have so many licenses? And one license cost 80,000 to 1 lakh. Maybe corporate, Sterling Tool is there, Sundaram Fast, they can afford it easily. But MSCs, I think their entire capital will go in getting the licenses only. They will not be able to work. So what I will done that we have sent an representation to New Delhi, to the director certification. And for the timing, they accepted our plea. First of all, they have extended this BS date by 6 months. And there are certain representations from our side, like a reduction in the license fees for a small category. It is 20% right now. We ask for the 50%. Then there's the testing lab problem is there, because the present labs they're charging a hectic money. They're charging on their own. So we have suggested government approved labs which are available everywhere in Ludhiana and Mumbai, Gujarat, everywhere. They are enable approved labs and their charges are very low. And they are very cooperative also. They don't take money to give the report. So that process is also on. In Ludhiana, they've already taken 2 labs for the audit. So likewise, their grades are, it's a very lengthy process. But I would like to ensure my friends sitting here that we will ensure that when BS will finally get implicated, we will to take the license, it will be simplified. Because right now it is very complicated and very expensive. And MSCs cannot afford for a BS certification in the present format. So we request you also being a chairman of the our that board. So please convey our sentiments to the director on our behalf. I know, but you can put a word.
No, collectively the association has to write to the Director General of BIS so that
No, that has already gone.
I
That has
mean,
already gone.
means we have to further take it up
Yeah,
so
yeah.
that the Director General directs the concerned marking department, ISI marking department, to take note of these improvements, or so that the hassle in the certification of fasteners is reduced. So that is how you have to do, and you have to collectively, I should say, fight, if I may be using the word, so that of course the present Director General is very cooperative, very forward thinking, and the direction from the ministry is also coming up, so that they will certainly do that, and they will help in this direction, I can say, because I have recently gone to the Delhi office and seen the situation there. This is what I can tell. And I that's what moment she told me to be present in this seminar, I told her that she should invite Mr. R.R. Singh, who is the director of this committee, right, and also the secretary of this committee, so that they will put forth in the next higher committee. This was my suggestion, but unfortunately it could not happen. Nevertheless, in your next seminars and conferences, try to involve the director of Bureau of Indian Standards, New Delhi, of this committee. I mean the committee, not only fastener committee, the entire mechanical engineering and fastenering, that production and general engineering division council to be present, or even the deputy director general, so that they know the feeling of the manufacturer and try to help. They will definitely do that. In fact, it is not that Bureau of Indian Standards want to earn money only through certification. It has got other things also, but maybe it is one of the activities. But because in a standard of fasteners, bolt, there will be 15 to 20 other standards which are referred to. So all other standards also need to be met with. That is how he said. Because the fasteners, the ends of the fastener, the bolt head, the across flat, across corner,
Yeah, lot of
the undercuts, the length of the threaded length, every aspect is standardized. So everything has to be met with. That is the thing. But if all those standards are religiously followed, the entire bolt or nut or the screw will also be following the standards. That's what I would like to say.
Sir, sorry I'm coming into this, but I absolutely appreciate and understand it's not in your purview. So we are uh, just making you hear our problems. There are two things that we want to put out here. One, as far as curbing China, hello, MIP has come. So that purpose is resolved. this solution. It's given a solution straight away. We don't even need BIS. Now you may argue that you need BIS for quality purposes. Like Mr. Sinha says, they are far ahead. Okay, if they're approved by Maruti and international customers who had stringent audits, and for many others like us also who may have ISO or TS certifications from good sound certification agencies, not the ones which can be just bought across. It's like a PhD student is being told to give his graduation exam again. Sterling doesn't need to do that, right? For others who have already ISO, this is for bringing people who don't have any norms that they are following. Yes, they should be certified. Also, if you tell me that just sending a few samples, getting those approved means your product is ensured that it is absolutely fine and certified, I'd rather go to the system which ISO or TS have, where they are controlling your process in such a way that because your process is so strong, the end result, your product has to be spot on from that point of view. So, only request to you, absolute only request, is understand, and if you can also just put in a word, yes, you've guided us well, we'll go to the concerned people. But the point is, do we need BIS certification? When the entire purpose from the beginning was for China, which is solved with MIP coming in. So now there should be some leniency that they should be looked towards, or keep a standard one single fee, like Mr. Bhamra suggests, maybe 50,000 rupees or whatever for one certification, that's it. Here there's a charge for every single sample that goes. There's a charge per metric ton of production and the investment in the laboratory. It's too cumbersome, sir. Just understand that. I know, again, I'm sorry, you're not the right, this thing, I understand that. But just understand this is something is really hurting our industry. And there are customers who are asking us, if you say that it's postponement ho gaya hai, and it's already postponed by, my customers don't know, they're yet asking, where is your certification? You can't supply to me until then. What do I tell them? So, if this can be done in advance, all we are asking you is for your understanding of this. That's all.
I would like to add here that I do agree with Avijat. It should be process-based, not the product-based. See, like ISO 9001, like IATF, like other certifications, my friend will agree with me. Process should be the rawest, not the product. When the process is rawest, then everything is going to be defectively only. So I do agree with you. This should be doctored.
The component or the fastener should be interchangeable, no? It has to fit in the assembly. Unless the thread is exactly as per the profile and the pitch is there and the undercut various aspects of the screw or the fastener is dimensionally with tolerance met with. If it is only process certified with ISO, it won't suffice. Anyway, it has to be discussed with the markings department.
Yes, absolutely.
And has to be a person sitting in the formulation and revision department cannot do anything in this direction.
No. All you're saying is hear us out.
You have to discuss with a higher level, with the
yes.
Deputy Director General standards level, and which comes under marking system also.
Correct.
To put forth your views.
Done.
This is what my suggestion.
No,
Fair.
our thing is, we already have met the concerned persons in Delhi. We need little bit of intervention from the BIS committee to suggest them some.
What we can do, you tell me.
No, that we can. Means we are already in the process.
Sir, do one thing.
No.
Just one request which you can do. All you do is ask them for a joint meeting with all the gentlemen you named, the Deputy General, the other gentlemen, with all the representatives of the industry, including some other associations which are here. And one second. Once we just want one audience where they can hear us. That's all. We are just that. And if you can be instrument, like he's saying, we have tried, but it's not happened yet. If you can at least put in a word to make that happen after hearing our problems, that's all we are requesting.
We will see.
Yeah.
I just
Very soon we'll have a meeting in Chandigarh or Delhi in a coming week or so, where all will put our representation over there, our concerns over there, because it is very, need of the hour that we should put across our point of view before it is finalized. Otherwise, it will be very difficult for the industry to adopt it. So we'll have a meeting next week or so. Just now I spoken to Dr. Agrawal. We'll have a meeting. No problem.
Sir, on this topic, if I can take it up. My name is Yusuf. I'm not a manufacturer, but I'm a trader. And I don't deal with the standard fasteners like IS 1364. But the ripple down effect of this order is all over the place. And we have our customers who are asking similar questions. We also have our suppliers asking the similar questions. My first question is, what is the government capacity, first of all, to go around and certify each industry in India, let alone in China, Taiwan, or anywhere in the world, so that you can issue them certificates? And because this is going to have severe implications on entire supply chain, on entire manufacturing process in India, which is going to impact exports from India, because of the lot of companies who depend on fasteners which are imported, including your, say, Apple iPhones, right? So all these companies are going to get impacted. It is going to severely impact the supply chain. So what is the government's capacity to do this in the first place? Secondly, there are a lot of these products, a lot of fasteners don't even have an Indian standard. They're all either DIN or ISO or some standards, and those standards don't exist in India. How are you going to, at the broader level, you have specified that HS 7318 is going to be the code to go after. How are we going to convince the customs people that this particular product that I import is not even there in this list? But the customs guy is happily going to go after every shipment. It is going to slow down imports. It's again going to impact supply chain. Thank you.
I will answer your question. Recently, we had a meeting with BIS, and we have proposed them to put the photographs of the standards, IS 1363, 1364, which are only the hex bolts and hex nuts, to be put on the site. That these are the only items which are covered in MIP right now, and not the other items. The other items will be described that these are not the items which are not included in BIS. But as you said, the custom people are not technical. They will harass the importers. They will harass the imports, and it will be impacting the industry over here. But again, as Mr. Bhamra told, that next week again we are going to have a meeting with with some concerned persons, and we would request some of the industry people to join us to strengthen the strength over there.
Yeah.
To show unity over there and to show the strength that we are coming together.
Hello. Sorry. I'm going to take this also. From what I understand, for exports, you don't need BIS. Okay. For exporting, you don't need BIS. Now you're mixing BIS with MIP, right? MIP is 7315, 7318 all across. So you're covered. There's no choice. That is nothing to do with BIS and their pure purview. So that's, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. That MIP is set by a different, so BIS, anything which is outside those standards which are mentioned on 21st July, is all out, is all free. You can import that freely. There's no problem. It's
There
not
is-
anything which is not in that scope of those standards. If you're not in that standards, of course you can import those.
There are serious concerns. I am getting my suppliers from Taiwan ask me what is the status right now. I have my suppliers in Taiwan asking what is the status right now. There is serious concern with this. This requires clarification.
Tell your Taiwan supplier you have a certification standard. I mean the standard you are supplying, and you send them the notification list. This standard is not in this list, hence it doesn't apply to me. It's that simple. As simple as that.
Sir, we have to explain to the customs guys. Now that's a problem. It's a major problem to explain to them. This is happening. I'm sure you would know.
I agree with you.
It
It is
will go
happening, but we are taking some steps to how to. Hello, can you hear me? Yeah. Am I audible? Yeah. As I told that we are putting the pictures of the product, but as the custom people are not technical enough to see that, or they just want to harass the people or want extra money, there will be some measures which we will have to discuss with the authorities that how to clarify this. But at this moment, it is too early to answer this question, because it's just only not even 15 days the rule has come, and the countermeasures and whatever has to be taken. We as a industry, we have to go united to the people, to the right concerned department to fight this out.
It looks like a purely protective measure, all right, to kind of create a barrier. If the target is China, then there has to be China-specific measures. But if you go blanket like this, where first of all, the government does not have the capacity to go around certifying companies in India, let alone around the world, you'll have to seriously think how you go about it. Raise barriers against China, no problem. But to, this will to mess up the entire supply chain with some kind of measures like this, for which, first of all, the government does not have the capacity. You'll have to seriously think on those lines.
I agree with you, but it is right now, it is for the first time in the history of fasteners, in the Indian history, that fasteners has been, this step has been taken for the fastener industry. So we have to fight it out. We have to stand united and put our problem to the right authorities.
No, the thing is, there are millions of products which are manufactured and imported in India. Why has the government gone after just the fastener industry? Obviously, there's a lobby at work, which is fine. But then you have to be very smart about how you go about it without hurting our own industry.
I agree with you, and we will surely take you also, and we will have some united questions and will to the right authorities.
Hello? Hello. Yeah, I would like to say something. Since from a manufacturing background, nothing as such has come up, like you said, in past around, since we are manufacturing fasteners in India. It's just like a little hiccup that we are managing right now. We cannot just shut doors with BIS in terms of controlling the quality of manufactured product in India. See, companies like what you are one of the concern that you are manufacturing for automobile sector. You yourself said there are n number of fasteners that are still imported. Why those companies are not confident on Indian manufacturing products? Because there has never been a standard protocol to be maintained or defined for Indian manufacturing. In this way, for BIS, there will be some kind of standardization that we can go through or we can look up to. Like if we are setting up a plant, this is the way that we have to go. First hiccup when you are into manufacturing is what is the standard that I should follow to manufacture a product and sell in the market. What happens out of competition? Substandard products are made and are sold. So hence no standardization, no price quality control, and we are faced with the problems that we are at right now. So I am pretty confident. It's just a little hiccup that we should work it out in both ways, that industry is not affected. Industry is not affected, yet it is progressive. Yes.
Yeah, and we have to adopt some standards.
Yeah.
We have to go through the flow.
Yeah.
Look, there are both the things, both sides of the coins. There will be some good points also and some which will harm the industry and which will also give benefit to the industry. But we have to take it in a positive way and we have to go forward.
See, first of all, I think we are thankful. Mr. Narinder said, no, they have extended the date. The date is 21st of January was the first date which they have given. And all our customers are after us. That what happened to that? I am extremely happy because he has said that the date has been extended. I think that is the first good news. Second is this, I think some movement have taken place since they declared this QCO requirement. Some more labs have opened up. Some rules have been made less stringent. Earlier, we had to give all the, for the full range, all the for bottom, middle and top. Okay, now they have made changes. And I am sure that moving ahead, more changes will be done to make it user friendly. But we need to understand that in the long run, it will help us to protect our market. It will help us to put some barrier, and also it will help us to improve our own quality. So in the long run, it is helpful. Maybe at the initial some teething problems or teething pain which we are getting, okay, and which is a reality, which could have been planned in a better way. But as always we say, everything can be done better. So there is no end to that, But definitely the intents have been to improve upon it, take out the bugs, okay. And if 6 months are given, I think it will help us for the certifications for all process. But one thing I just wanted to repeat, it is extremely costly, though it is not cheap for us, okay? And I'm sure for a MSME, it is definitely pinchy, okay? So these are my few thoughts which we have after interacting with our person who deals with this case. Thank you.
Sir, I have one question. Firstly, good afternoon for every guest present here. And I wanted to highlight an compliance issue which I guess you forgot to mention, sir. A new policy named CBAM, which is being adapted in Europe, and UK is also adapting the same policy. Of course, reducing the carbon footprint of our manufacturing, which in 2 years they'll start leaving carbon taxes on each and every product of ours, right? So, seeing the scenario in India, most of the exports are done by MSMEs. More than 50% of the exports are done by MSMEs, right? So how this CBAM, carbon border adjustment mechanism, will affect them after 2 years when they start to levy carbon tax on each and every product? Currently, it is only applicable on 5 products: iron and steel, aluminium, cement, fertilizers, then electricity and hydrogen. But now they'll be getting into a lot of more products. But after tax, what impact it will create on the exports of India? I wanted to shed a light on that. And as Amarjit sir mentioned, they are strongly implementing strategies to reduce their carbon footprint in the organization. As Sterling Tools Ltd is a 1400 crore company, but all the MSMEs can't do this thing, right? To reduce the carbon footprint. And of course, India is majorly dependent on coal power. So how that carbon tax after 2 years when it is coming into place will affect the export? I wanted to shed light on that.
I think, my dear friend, right now, earlier we are doing the process of furnace oil like that. So that is when the carbon emissions were there. Now the forging process will completely change the pollution department. Now we're doing the forging with the help of gas or with the help of the induction heating. So already carbon emissions are already decreasing right now. So already government is aware of it and it has been implemented. So they have to. With the time to it, they have to. But it will become mandatory nowadays.
So
you
will we
can
take...
do the Central Pollution Board, that the circulars, they already issued the circulars to reduce the carbon emissions. So any other questions, sir?
So my name is Jeet. My question is very simple. I'm very much for BIS, standardization, quality, implementation, all of that. But I don't think we are prepared, like he rightly said, we are nowhere close to being prepared of implementing something of this standard at such a large scale in our country because of all the complications. Now, on ground, I'll give you a live example. A very close friend of mine imports toolings for fasteners. He had a consignment which came in a 1 month back, and the customs officer refused to clear it, saying there's no BIS license. This was 1 month back. The customs officer blankly wanted some money under the table. He even quoted a figure, 2 lakh rupees on a 20 lakh rupee consignment. My friend is like, how can I afford to pay him 2 lakh rupees to clear a clean consignment which has got nothing to do with BIS, where my margin is not even 2 lakhs. He has specifically gone personally to Delhi, traveled to Delhi, met the right people in the department. He went to some office in Powai first in Mumbai. From there, got the right people in Delhi. It took him 24 days to clear his consignment after getting the NOC from Delhi. But he refused to pay. Now, imagine the demurrage and the other charges which he had to incur in this whole process to get this done. So on ground, while on the top, all these policies are looking really nice, adding a lot of value to the products. But on ground, I'm sorry to say, we are nowhere ready, is what I would rightly say. It's just, like sir rightfully said, these are policies made to remove more money from our pockets.
If I may just add, I think it's going to even hurt the small manufacturers in India, because like if you said this, the costs involved are so large, people with high amount of money to pay out, or even with the compliance cost, if they agree to accept this compliance cost, the big manufacturers are going to pay it and get compliant. You're going to drive out the entire MSME sector who cannot afford to pay those costs. How are you going to address those? You're going to hurt the Indian industry big time in terms of the manufacturers in India, also the supply chain, which is depending on imported fasteners. Like he said, you can't go and explain to the custom guys. They're waiting for us. They're going to have a jolly good time.
I think we should conclude the session now. It's going to very healthy. But my dear friend, there are certain subsidies being provided to the macro units. They are being 80% discount on licensing, and likewise, right now the exemption limit for macro units is 2 CR, and we have written to enhance to 5 CR, so that the small units may opt out of the BIS.
I'm suggesting Jeet, Raghav, Yusuf, all of us, they'll join us. This is not the platform. We have to take that for forum lecture.
Yeah.
They all will join us that time and we'll take it from there.
Right,
this is
sir,
not
right.
the right forum.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, everybody.
Good afternoon, sir.
One more question.
So, in the essence of time, this is the last question or comment we'll be taking.
Sir, I am Abhay from Infini Precision Private Limited. So we are associated with the fasteners manufacturers, and we are into super finishing of dies that are mainly used in the fastener industry. So my point of question was, are there any finishing quality standards that are coming in the near future for the fasteners, since we are moving into EVs as well?
As such, there is no particular standards for EV, because most of the EV manufacturers have their own designs. Most of the fasteners are non-standard, so they have their own designs for which BIS or NABD doesn't have any particular standard numbers for that.
In case of complex designs in which serrations are used, so my concern was regarding that, like, are there any changes that are going through in the quality perspective? So industries like ours, which are more dependent upon the fasteners industry for the polishing of dies, is there any impact which is going to happen on them?
Wherever new standards are to be prepared or formulated, you are always free to write to the committees in which subject those items comes, so that they will take it up. It's not that BIS will formulate on their own. Based on the request from the users, also standards are formulated. If there are no national or international standards, then they may base the standard based on your own standard. Also possible.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you. Thank you, panel members, and being such a nice host. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the essence of time, we will unfortunately have to conclude this session. Thank you for your active participation and your valuable insights. If you have any further questions or discussions, please feel free to connect with our panelists during the post-conference networking sessions. Thank you all for this insightful session focusing on ensuring quality standards in the fastener manufacturing industry. The engaging discussion is of prime importance to all the members of this industry. Now, I would like to request Mr. Mukesh Kharia, Division Director of Messe Stuttgart, India, and Mr. Narinder S. Bhamra to join us in honoring our esteemed panelists. We would like to extend our gratitude to Mr. Parag Shah for his valuable inputs. Ladies and gentlemen, a big round of applause. We would like to thank Mr. N. Srinivasa Murthy for sharing his wealth of knowledge with us. Thank you, Mr. Amarjit Sinha, for steering this conversation with your insightful contributions. I would like to request Mr. P. Suresh Babu, Project Director, FASTNEX 2024, to join us on stage to honor Mr. Narinder Bhamra, the session moderator, for his invaluable support to FASTNEX 2024. Mr. Kharia and Mr. P. Suresh Babu, kindly do the honors. Thank you, Mr. Bhamra, for your and FMAI's support to this event. Distinguished members of the panel, we would request you to kindly join us for the official photograph.